Welcome to Banking and Finance Television. Today we speak with Torben Friis of Wilde Sinclair on new generation services. Welcome, Torben.
Thank you.
We're going to discuss foreign exchange, and nowadays the euro is under pressure. What do you expect the euro to do in the next months?
Go up and go down. That's what currencies normally do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, they are trying to trade on news flow itself, and that's where they get badly burned. Also, expectations as to what's happening in the political sphere. That is what currently is driving things quite a lot, at least within the Eurozone versus the surrounding currencies. Mm-hmm. And there's this internal drama which is coming out quite unfortunate for the Eurozone itself, that the main ones who normally decide what happens with the euro, the Germans, are actually the ones who have to give a credit line because of somebody else within the zone, the Greeks, are having difficulties. But at the end of the day, it all feeds back to what the Germans themselves originally have done, which is they've lended all this money to the Greeks, because 60% of all Greek foreign loans are to German creditors. So where do I expect the euro to go, I think, is more your question. Well, it's hard to say, people always say it's going to go one way, then it goes the other. But I truly believe the euro will go a bit weaker in the near future, also in light of the fact that there's going to come a big flow, I anticipate, of negative news from the other euro countries, being Portugal, Italy, Greece, Spain, also known as the pigs, as they were mentioned by The Economist. Mm-hmm. And that itself will push the euro. We could perhaps see down to 125 or even 120, and then from there it's going to sneak up again.
Against the dollar?
Against the dollar, thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Of course, we came into these messy situations because of the bailouts. The governments bailed out the banks. Who will bail out the governments, you think?
Well, that's the issue. If you look at it, it all leads back to fractional banking at the moment, back when they dropped the Bretton Woods agreement and removed the gold standard. Mm-hmm. And then banks could lend out more than they were holding on deposit as a fraction. And that's the point at which things started to change, because we're now into this cycle where banks need to lend more for the sake of making more, and to keep up with this kind of recurring growth, they have to extend credit further and further up. And that itself is becoming a problem, because society is expecting unrealistic size in terms of returns, which goes back to your question about who's going to bail out the governments. Well, the world is living on printing money right now. And a good example of that is Japan. So, of course, the euro area could just bail out Greece, or bail out governments who are not doing bad. Governments will normally do that by increasing taxes, reducing future pension payments, and through various means. Also, you will see inflation increasing without shadow of a doubt within the next 2 years, which itself will also dilute the burden to governments of debt. So the governments still have a few tools, if you like, mm-hmm. to do this, and they will certainly use them to their best ability.
Yes, of course, the inflation, maybe the hyperinflation, is a big risk now in financial markets. Do you think we'll have a future in Zimbabwe or like in Japan? Because it's deflation, recession, or inflation and hyperinflation.
Right. Well, I think if you look at the two societies, I would rather be able to go down to a place where things are very quiet and have a sushi than I would be in Zimbabwe amongst locals being forced to dig in the ground to see if we could find a rat that we could skin, because that's the only thing we can eat. I think the Zimbabwean reference is a good, amusing one, but at the same time it's also the proof of a society that's collapsed completely. It's at the levels, if not beyond, of what you had in the Weimar Republic in Germany, when inflation just went crazy. So in light of that, I would say by far Japan.
I think I agree on that. Indeed, there's a lot of turbulence in these foreign exchange markets.
Yes.
What kind of services do you provide with new generation services for this foreign exchange market?
Right. At Wilde Sinclair, we operate as an advisor to NGS and support them in various areas of their business. And the main things that NGS specialize in are trading systems which enable clients to make money both in increasing and in dropping markets, if you like. And one of their main benefits there are that clients can then adjust the systems against what the risk profile are. The majority of customers say, well, this is very fine, but I'll tell you what, I rather want to place my money with you, and that's what clients then do. And then we provide them with an investment service where we fully manage their money discretionarily. But the important thing we put emphasis on is transparency, because a lot of people have been burned badly over the last few years. We've had all sorts of scandals, Bernard Madoff and others. So transparency is key for us in showing to clients that we can make them a good return in the foreign exchange market.
Okay, very well. Thank you for the interview, Torben. Thank you for watching Banking and Finance Television, and I hope to see you next time.